All right, guys. Last year, the National High School Barbecue Association contacted Bree and I and asked us to come down to your nationals down in Branson, Missouri, and do a little chicken. We did some lollipop chicken for you guys. It's been close to a year, and you guys are competing with us this year, so we wanted to put a little refresher video out there for you so you guys had something to reference back. Now, our way's not the only way, but our way we feel is a pretty good way to do it. So let's see how we did. I've been working on this all day. You want to see my homework? Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good chicken. Sorry, darn good chicken. What we have here is some chicken legs from our local grocery store. Cooking high school, they're gonna let you go pick what chicken you're gonna use. I'm assuming for the lollipops, they're gonna be just giving you regular old chicken legs. So let me show you how I do a trim on for a lollipop chicken. First off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna separate them into sizes because I want these to be similar in size, so I don't have some big old bells out there and then some little bitty ones. So I will go through and separate as best you can. I'm looking to get about 12 of these if possible. I'm not sure how many they hand out in the high school barbecue world, but I'm looking to get about 12 of these between two small pans. So here we go. Here's how I trim one. So the first thing I do is I just pull this skin back. Not going too far with it. Pull it back. You'll see that membrane or that tendon right there. I'm going to take a boning knife and just get right underneath it. I don't want to take much meat. I just want to release that tendon. Judge bites into that, you're going to have a pretty tough chew. So that was our boning knife. Next knife I like to have is a scimitar or a chef's knife, readily available. What I'll do here is I will get this where it just looks pretty straight. I'll come right behind this knuckle bone right here and I'll start a cut, and then with the heel of my hand I'm going to hit on the back of the knife and just go down through it. Don't use a really good knife on this. I mean, this is a Victorinox. It's a great knife. I have a few of these, so I don't mind resharpening. But what'll happen if you're cutting through that chicken bone, as you can see right here, that's a pretty thick bone, it'll start nicking your blade. So you'll have to go back and fix it if you do that. So once I do that, I'm gonna pull the skin back down. I'm just gonna keep pulling it down until it feels good. So what I'm wanting to do, and before you go any further, you can check to make sure that chicken leg has a good base right here where she's going to stick straight up like that, because you want to cook it straight up. You're going to serve it where it has that nice bell down here. So that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to take my index finger and my thumb and go around it, and I'm going to take my boning knife that is very sharp, and I'm going to score all the way around just below this knuckle. And I'm trying to break that skin and break through all those little tendons. And what you're going to find in here is a bunch of little spaghetti tendons. I caution you to go chasing too far after those. What'll end up happening is you'll end up pulling all these tendons out, and then your meat's just not really held together in there. We've been cooking chicken legs. Bree's been cooking chicken legs for years. She doesn't chase those tendons very often. She will chase the big one, but those little spaghetti tendons, she doesn't chase them. They tend to not be a problem. All right, so now I've got that freed up. I'm gonna go around with my boning knife, make sure I have all of them freed up, because we're gonna clean this knuckle right here. As you can see, that one didn't have arthritis. So we're gonna take a paper towel, and I'm gonna take my thumb and run right along that groove right there and pull it all the way down with my thumbnail, and I'm gonna twist it off. Just like that. And then once that's done, we will go through and we'll clean this bone, and I'll set it right back in here. Let's do one more. Square it off. All right, just pop right up underneath that tendon, just free her up. Watch out for some of this. You can see how there's some of that red blood and bruising on this one. That can come out in a finished product and make it look bad. I'm not too worried about this one because we're gonna lollipop it, so I'll probably get rid of a lot of that stuff. As you can see, she's gonna sit pretty good, like we want. Go around the top again. And right there you can see all those, I call them spaghetti tendons, all those little tendons right there. If you go to chasing those and pulling those out, you will pull meat with it and it'll free up. So once I get that done, I take a nice pair of kitchen shears and I'll just clean that one up. Giving her a little haircut. So you can get up in here and clean this up if you want to. I'm not going to do that today. That is pretty time consuming. You can use a sharp knife and dig down in there. You can take scissors and just scrape them. I'm not going to do that today. It doesn't really bother me on the finished product. But see how nicely that stands up? That's what we're going to look for. So I'm going to finish the rest of these and then we're going to season them and get them on the smoker. We've got all our chicken trimmed. It's ready to go. So what I did after a trim is I take it and I will put this in a brine. So if you're on a one-day schedule like a lot of these high school teams are, you're going to get your meat in the morning and you have to have it ready by probably early afternoon. So you don't have a lot of brine time. So what I want you to do, or what I would do, is I would take this, trim this, and immediately get it in your favorite brine. Whether that be the chicken fried brine, the Man Meats poultry primer. There's so many out there on the market. Pick your favorite one, use your favorite one. We definitely have ours, but that's a secret. Anyway, so these came out of a brine, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take our chicken rub. Bree swears by this chicken rub. A lot of other cooks swear by this chicken rub. Use what you like. This is what we like. We're going to take that chicken rub, and we're just going to give it a nice even coat. You do not have to over season these. You do not have to completely cover them to where it's just nothing but a caked on seasoning. So I'll hit all these, fast forward through that. All right, all seasoned up. What we're going to do here now is we want to protect these bones. If I was to throw these on the smoker just like this right now, these bones are going to get black. The smoke's going to be attracted to it. They're going to get black, and we don't want that for an appearance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our aluminum foil. We're going to cut it into little squares, probably like 4x4 squares, something like that. I'm just going to run it around each one. Close her off. Nothing fancy about this. Just keeping smoke off the bone. All right, now those bones are protected. I know I'm not going to get a bunch of dark color on them. The next step, it's one of Bree's favorite steps, and Bree's out of the office today, so I get to play with her butter cutter. I guess that's probably should be a hashtag, the butter cutter. These little butter slicers are just a great tool to have in your toolbox. Go down, and I'm going to take 2 sticks of butter per pan, and I'm just going to lay that out in the bottom of the pan, around the sides. We're just going to let that melt down. The chicken's going to swim in it. It's going to be buttery good, I promise. We're going to let that rub now and that set in for about probably at 20 minutes really, and she'll get kind of wet and ready to go. And then from there we'll just get her on the pit. All right guys, these have been sitting here for about 25-30 minutes. The rub set in about the way I want. A little bit wet, but not too wet. We're gonna put it on our pellet grill at 300. The reason I'm running a pellet grill today, it's just one, it's easy, it's a Sunday. I want to make a quick video for you guys. 2, I can control the temp and I can go do 20 other things and don't have to worry about adjusting. I know a lot of you guys are cooking on cans. That is our preferred way to cook our chicken, is on a can. But today, for just consistency, I'm gonna do it here on this pellet grill. So, 300 degrees, unwrapped, Wait for it. Let's go 45 minutes unwrapped at 300 degrees. Set your clock, we'll be back. Y'all, it's been about 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and give these chickens a look-see. Yeah, chicky, 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 chicky. Oh yeah. Go ahead and set those up here. I won't be too long with this. I don't want them to cool down any, but you can see that rub's tacked up. Not a lot of rub color on there. I don't want that. The rub's gonna bring enough spice, get us what we want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one piece of foil over each pan, try to seal them up as good as I can without knocking them over. I do it alone. Come over to the top. Still good. We're gonna throw those back on. I'm gonna start checking these at about 30 to 35 minutes. I'm looking for an internal temp between 200 and 202 on these. If it goes a little higher, I'm not too worried about it, but we'll be back. Now that our chicken's on, we just put it on, it's got 30, 35 minutes. Now we gotta get our sauce ready. Gotta get that great dipping sauce. It's gonna give that shine, that color, and that wonderful taste. So we like, on our chicken, the Smokin' Magic sweet sauce. This has won many, many awards in chicken. We don't mess with a good thing. We're gonna stick with it. Use what you like. This is what we want. So what I wanna do now is I just wanna get a small foil pan, because we got no microwaves when we're out here cooking in a parking lot. Use most of a bottle, and then I am going to put a piece of foil over the top of it, and it is going to go in the pit with the chicken to get warm. We want to get this warm to about 145 to 155 degrees. That way when we dip the chicken in it later, it's going to have a nice glassy texture, like almost like it's thinned out, and that's what we're looking for that beautiful color that the judges love. So these just went on to about 5 minutes ago. We're going to put this sauce on right here below it and let her get all warm and toasty. See you in about 30. All right, these guys have been on for about 35 more minutes. Just got them off the pellet grill. Finish temp was about 207 on these, so I went a little higher than what I told you earlier, but you know what? I had Bree come out and check them, and she said they were perfect. So we're gonna hope she's right. Let's look at them. Good looking chicken. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. So from this point, we're gonna get them out. We're gonna get them sauced up, and then we're gonna get them to the judges. All right, so now we've got them unwrapped, we've got them temped. Really good thing you need, important thing you need to do is make sure we get them over here on a drying rack. Let that butter drip off of them. If you try to dip them in the sauce and get that shine, oh, by the way, if you see some stuff that doesn't look good, let's get rid of it right now. If you try to dip it into your sauce and it still has butter on the outside, that sauce will just run off. So let's get it off there. Make these things look pretty. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Did a pretty good job if I do say so myself. So you're just looking for anything that looks unappealing on there, because you don't want the judges to see. So that looks pretty good. You see how the bottom of that just sealed off? Love it. Just want to eat it. See, now this one looked a lot prettier before I started, but as you can see, it's really just not that attractive right now. We'll keep it out. It might be a taster, but not something we're going to send to the judges. And we're going to start unwrapping the legs. Simple part here. Let's go fast with this. Just fast forward right through this part. And this is where I start looking at them and start culling out kind of the ones I don't like and I know that aren't going to go in the box. You can see those bones, they got dark a little bit. It's what we expected, but for the most part, they didn't get smoked, so that's good. They all look good and clean. That stuff I told you that would render out and just look all right, don't worry about it. It all looks good. Next part, go steal Dad's favorite travel coffee cup. put your warm sauce in it. So that sauce, we got it up to, this sauce ended up being about 152. It sat there for 30 minutes on the pit with this covered, and I got it to 132. Okay, this is very important. When we dip this, we're gonna dip right down to the tip of the bone. We're not gonna get the bone in the sauce. I'm gonna do 2 dunks. Give it a little twirl. Twirls for me. Same here. 1, 2. Give it a little twirl. Now this one, you can see it split right here. Probably not one that's going to go in the box. But if you get into one of those times where you just don't have a lot to choose from and they kind of split or pulled from you, see that sauce is going to cover some of that up, and we can turn this in the box and make sure the judge doesn't see our mess up. So that color is exactly what this sauce was designed to do when it got warm. Bring that shine. Looks like you went to the airport and got your boots polished. Now this one I know is most definitely going in the box. Look at that. Oof. That color is just to die for. Oop, there's an eater. Ugly. Another eater. All right, now that I've got all these dipped, and you see I've got some great color on these. I'm really happy with the color. We're gonna let these sit here and drip for about 5 minutes while I get my box ready. Be right back. Okay, this chicken's been sitting on the counter at room temp for about 5 minutes. A couple things are happening here. We're letting that chicken cool down just a little bit, and that sauce is gonna set on its own out here. If you want to, you can set it. You can put this back on the pit for 5 minutes or so, whatever temp you want, and you can tack that sauce up. We really just like this high gloss shine like we're getting right there. Time to box. So I've got my standard to-go box with foil on the bottom. You want to make sure you have these turned. They look the prettiest. The prettiest sides are out. Oh, that's a pretty one. I like that one. Ooh, I like that one. There y'all go. Got them straightened out. Managed to not make a mess, but we will check the box to make sure we didn't make any messes. And everything looks pretty good. A little deep down in here. I like it. There you go. Turn that in. Good luck to you all. I'm gonna take a bite. Let's see how she goes. That's pretty good chicken. Sorry, darn good chicken. Here's my challenge to you guys. Send us your homework. Send us a picture of your homework. Let us see what you're doing. Show us how you're doing it. We'll pick out some people. We're gonna send you some free swag. We'll get a hold of you. Send us some stuff. Good luck this year. Can't wait to see you all in a couple months. See you later.